This isn't the Egypt you were taught. The dark side of the pharaohs, history erased, is the harem conspiracy against Pharaoh Ramesses III in 1155 BC. Documents preserved in the judicial papyrus of Turin reveal that one of his wives, Queen Tai, organized a plot to assassinate him so her son, Pentawer, could take the throne. The conspiracy involved high-ranking officials, palace servants, and even members of the royal harem. In the aftermath, trials were held and dozens were executed or forced to take their own lives. The mummy believed to be Prince Pentawer was later found improperly mummified, wrapped in goatskin, a sign that he may have been disgraced even in death. But this wasn't the whole story. Something worse was still to come. Ramesses III ruled with an iron fist to secure his throne. He fought brutal land and naval battles against the Sea Peoples, and in his temple at Medinet Habu, he proudly recorded their defeat, describing how they were crushed, slaughtered, and their captives forced into slavery. In the 11th year of his reign, Ramesses III crushed attempts by the Libyans and the Meshwesh tribes to infiltrate the western delta, killing thousands and seizing their livestock. Cruelty's roots extend far deeper than one might think. Behind the grandeur of feasts and celebrations, slaves and workers suffered under harsh labor. Records suggest that pyramid builders endured brutal punishments for mistakes. As cruelty and ambition festered in the palace, another conspiracy was quietly taking shape. This time targeting Queen Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut, one of Egypt's most successful female pharaohs, was systematically removed from monuments after her death. Her name and likeness were erased by her stepson Thutmose III, who sought to remove her legacy from history. These acts weren't just vandalism, they were political tools. Pharaohs understood that history is written by the victors, and by manipulating inscriptions and temple art, they could eliminate rivals, not just politically, but historically. Not all acts of darkness happened behind royal doors. Some unfolded across the land itself. The late New Kingdom saw a wave of tomb robberies, organized thefts of royal tombs deep within the Valley of the Kings. One official, Pentawer, was accused of either being complicit in these crimes or negligent while in charge of protecting royal tombs. When the corruption investigation began, 17 workmen were executed, but Pentawer himself faced no charges due to lack of evidence and continued in office while the robberies persisted. This reflects a breakdown in law and order, showing that greed and corruption could reach even the high ranks of Egyptian administration. Yet beyond the throne and the grand temples, another reality existed, one rarely carved into stone or celebrated in monuments. In the Salt Papyrus number 124, historians uncovered disturbing records describing cases of sexual misconduct. One case stands out. Horemheb, the chief workman of Deir el-Medina on the west bank of Luxor, was formally accused of harassing a female worker. Charges were filed against him, yet the papyrus never reveals the exact punishment he faced. What we do know is that he was removed from his position, a powerful message in a society that valued honor, reputation, and respect for women. But the problem may have been larger than a single man. During the reign of Ramesses III, sources suggest that the king established what could be considered one of the earliest specialized police forces in history. Patrols assigned specifically to monitor streets and public gardens, preventing any inappropriate words or actions toward women. Their presence became necessary as social disorder increased and large numbers of foreigners entered Egypt, creating tension within daily life. These records challenge the common image of ancient Egypt as perfectly ordered and serene, because even in one of history's greatest civilizations, society still struggled to protect the vulnerable. One of the clearest windows into how fiercely the Egyptians fought corruption comes from the legal reforms of Pharaoh Horemheb of the 18th dynasty. His edict didn't just punish wrongdoing, it sent a clear message: abuse of power would not be tolerated. Corruption wasn't taken lightly. Stealing from temples, for instance, was considered a grave offense, not merely because of economic loss, but because temples were sacred centers of both religion and administration. Documents reveal that anyone caught stealing temple goods or livestock could face crippling fines, brutal corporal punishment, or even a loss of status. Tomb robbing was another terrifying crime. Breaking into the resting places of the dead didn't just threaten wealth, it challenged beliefs about the afterlife itself. Court papyri from the Valley of the Kings detail confessions, beatings, and interrogations, showing that offenders were often punished on the spot before formal trials even began. Even with courts and judges in place, the system demanded honesty. False testimony, bribery, and obstruction of justice were treated as severe crimes because they struck at the very foundation of law. Judges themselves could face removal, demotion, or punishment if they failed to act swiftly. Taken together, these records reveal a society obsessed with order and divine justice. But even in this highly regulated world, corruption and crime found ways to creep in, sometimes all the way to the highest levels of power. But the story doesn't end here. There are still secrets buried in the sands, waiting for history to uncover them.